The trunk release button is completely busted. Let's replace it. Hello and welcome to How to Helen, where you learn something different every day. In this episode, we will be replacing the trunk release button for this 2010 Mazda 3. Now I was able to buy a replacement part from AliExpress. You can also buy it from other retail stores like eBay or Amazon, but AliExpress is the cheapest place where you can buy them. Now, even though it is cheaper buying from AliExpress, the difference is sometimes it takes a day or two or even a week for the part to arrive. So if you're not in a hurry, it might be worth buying from them, especially when you're in a budget. Now I just want to add that the generic button replacement, the outer trim is not body color. So if that bothers you, you might as well buy it from the dealer. The only thing is it's very expensive to buy the body color trim. I don't know why. It's maybe $20 or $40 more. This one is just $10. Plus my vehicle is gray, so it won't bother me as much. Just want to point that out. So now let's replace the trunk release button. To replace the trunk release button, we gotta remove the liftgate trim. So we're gonna start with the center trim. Use your panel removal tool, slide it in between the center trim to remove it. You just pull it out. Here's the clips that hold it in place. I guess I'm missing one over here. Next, let's start with this side. We gotta remove the retainer clip and use your pick tool to raise the inside or inner part of the retainer clips. Once it's up, pull it up to remove the retainer clip. Now this is the ball that holds the trunk, the strap for the trunk. This is a little bit tricky because you need to remove the top portion of the ball. Then once it's up, as you can see, it is separated. You pull it up and then it should release. Just for reference, this is what I pulled up and this came out, so this is free to squeeze in and release the trim or release this retainer clip, ball retainer clip. Let's go closer so you can see the removal process better. With the retainer clip here and the ball clip here removed, we can pull out this portion of the panel. Just be careful not to damage any clips, just like that. So one fell, let me grab it. And just carefully separate this portion of the clip. Oh, my mistake. So you have to pull this out as there's another retainer clip, inner retainer clip holding this in place. So you gotta come from the top. Don't release though. Here you go. This portion had a retainer clip that wouldn't release, so make sure you pull it with your panel removal tool so that this would release along with the retainer clip. So we're just going to grab that later. So this is the other retainer clip that's holding this portion of the panel in place. Let's do the other side. Let me start with the standard retainer clip. So I'm going to use my pick tool to raise up the inner portion. Once it's up, I can pull the whole retainer clip out. Now with the ball retainer clip, I'm just going to raise the top portion of the ball. As you can see, it is slowly raising and it is separating. Make sure you raise it all the way up. Then you can pull the whole retainer clip out. Again, you need to pull this part of the ball so that this would go in and this would squeeze in to let go of the retainer clip. Makes sense? I hope so. Alright, this side it is slightly harder to demonstrate. You gotta raise this up, then you have to slide in your panel removal tool here. But let's raise it up first so we can release the other clips. Alright, so don't lose those clips that you heard popping off. And with that, you gotta it is a challenge to release them. And when they release, they won't let go. Alright, so I guess this portion goes in there. Let me just show you the other clips that just popped off. Okay, so this is the side trim. Then this is the retainer clip that's inside this hole and locked in place at the bottom. So I don't know how that came out. Interesting. So we're gonna try to insert it later. But for now, we're gonna continue on with replacing the trunk release button. But just be careful not to lose this one. So on the grab handle on the trim, there's a screw in there. So use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the screw. Sorry if I'm blocking because there's no space to put the camera on. Grab it, don't want it falling. Careful. And there's the screw. Now after removing the side trim, there should be one more retainer clip underneath the side trim that's holding the bottom center trim. So take that out, pull the inner portion, then pull out the whole retainer clip. And just FYI, on the driver's side trim, it's missing one of the retainer clips. That's why I didn't have a chance to show how to remove it. At the bottom of the bottom trim, there should be two more retainer clips. So pull out the inner portion, then pull out the retainer clips. Now underneath the taillight cover, there's no retainer clips that we need to remove. But we're gonna take it out anyway because we need some leverage to pull down the bottom trim. So use your panel removal tool to separate the taillight cover and just pull down. Do on the other side as well. There's a slot here to slide in your panel removal tool and just twist it to open it up. Oops. With the center trim removed, side trims removed, retainer clips removed on the side, screw on the grab handle removed, retainer clips removed, we should be able to pull down this lower trim. So carefully start pulling on the sides. Oops. And of course everything fell down. And just for reference, when we pull down the lower trim, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 retainer clips. This one's missing because it got stuck on the liftgate. So just for reference, so you know what we're trying to release when we pull down the trim. This is the wire for our trunk release button. This is the locking tab that you need to press to release it. So press down and pull out to release from the wire connector. So press down and release. Now from the inside, this is our trunk release button. This is the clip that holds it in place. So I'm just gonna pull it up to release our trunk release button. There you go. This is your retainer clip. Now you can push the trunk release button going to outside. Alright, well, it went in, so we're gonna take it out from the inside. Here it is. And there's the wire. Here's the side-by-side comparison of our old trunk release button and the replacement trunk release button. There's really no way of saving this one. The outer portion is really broken. So let's install the new one. So from the outside, start sliding in the wire and the trunk release button. So we're running into an issue with the replacement button. The slots for the hole on top, it's wide. On the lower part is slightly narrow, versus on the replacement button, it's wide on top and wide on bottom. The sides go exactly on the side slots. So again, this is wide. Side slots are normal, and you can't twist it like this because it's not gonna fit on the sides. That's one of the challenges when you buy from AliExpress. You gotta make sure that it fits correctly on your vehicle, even though this button specifically says Mazda. Oh well, let's figure something out.
A few moments later.
So what I was trying to do is make this side narrower so that it would fit the slot. Unfortunately, I think I overdid it and drilled through or sanded everything down, and I just left a small notch at the end. So hopefully this fits in the slot for the trunk release button now. Let's try it. So with a grinded down button, we're gonna see if it fits the slot. So slide in the wire connector on the slot or on the hole and see if this goes in. Alright, now at least it's flushed. Yay! Let's put in the clip inside. Now with one hand, let's put on the E-clip. Careful. Oops. Sorry, I'm blocking. I push this down. Come on. Oh. Oh. Okay. There you go. It's on, it's secured, and it's not gonna move anywhere else. Now let's attach the wire connector bottom. There you go. And let's test it first. Yay, it works. Nice. So with the new button installed, E-clip installed, and connector installed, let's try one more time. Yay, it works. Now all we have to do is reinstall the trims that we removed in the reverse order that we removed them. And my apologies, it got dark so quickly because it's the winter time. Anyway, and that is how to replace the trunk release button on this 2010 Mazda 3. This has been another episode of How to Helen. I hope you can still see me. My name's RJeff, and thank you for watching.